We got an iPhone 7 that's from a retail customer from our store. It's not from any other different store. I have just replaced the screen and customer told us that it doesn't have any sound. So when we go to the recording, the voice memo, it doesn't even start up the recording. And when I try to call, let's call from okay, ringer is working. You cannot put it on the loudspeaker and you cannot hear the microphone at all. So it still works on a Bluetooth but not on the normal audio. So the solution is simple, that audio IC which we talk about every time. So let's do it. So I'm getting my sharp tweezer. We're gonna hold on to the IC because we're gonna use the same IC again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I don't give more heat than 10 seconds. So I'm gonna wait for it to cool down again and come back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if still doesn't work, I won't take a chance. I will put the board to my preheater because it shouldn't take that much time to come off from the motherboard. So what we're doing now is we're using a preheater on 100°. And always put the IC on the other side because when I'm gonna heat up, the airflow going to be on that side, outside, not inside the board. These small things makes a big difference in killing the baseband underneath. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will know when you do the IC, and after doing the audio IC you will see the phone is searching only, searching for network, I mean. Okay, let's put a little bit of flux. Usually I don't put it on while taking the IC off. And don't ask me how much the heat on my station because it's depend on your station. Every SMD is different. So I cannot tell like you can put it on 400 but your one maybe it can be good up to 300° as well. Okay, so we're gonna hold it with the tweezer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe it's pasted underneath like a black paste. I will give it more time on the preheater so it can heat up a little bit more. There's no rush. There's no point like I have to do it in 20 minutes or so. We have to do it properly, take time without killing the baseband. Because if you put the heat on the top and let it be there for a couple of seconds more just to take the IC off, definitely the heat going to be on another IC which is underneath these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not pasted, but it took a while to get it off. But it's still safe, I can tell 100%, because we didn't heat up more than 10 seconds. Usually the IC comes off in 6 seconds, 6 or 7 seconds. This one took a bit long, and these ones can give you trouble while you're doing the IC and killing the baseband. Okay, now we need to wick the pad. We can wick it while this is on the hot air station, not hot air station, the hot plate. A little bit is done. I'm gonna cut off this wick from the front and do a second round on the side. And one more go. Okay, when this is cleaned, we need to take it off from the preheater. Put it on a normal board. Clean it with the thinner so we can see the pads clearly. Okay, all these pads over here, they would be NC, no connection. How do we check? We go to the desktop, we're opening the ZXW tool, and we're gonna compare with the main board and the pinout from the software. Okay, so we're opening the iPhone 7 board. In Australia they all Intel, so okay, so this is the IC. Let's see the no connection pads first. My one, number 3 is missing, and 3, 4, 5. Third row and the fourth one, this is missing, which is fine. These 3, the buns. Okay, all fine. Now see where the problem is. The problem which we get is C12, this fan. This pad over here, it got disconnector from the actual board. So what we are doing, we are making a jumper from this R1103 to here. So when we put the IC on the top, it will stick to that pad, and pad will pass the supply to the R1103. It goes to the AP, application processor. With this one, sometimes we have to make 4 jumpers. One this, second this, third this, and 4 this. And now when we look at the board, you see this one is moving. So we need to connect this one here, and these one looks fine. So I will just do the one jumper. And how do we do it? Alright. Now we put a little bit of soldering flux. I will twist it to the another, because I'm right-handed, so I'm switching my motherboard, which suits me better. The position of the motherboard, I mean. Okay, goes here. So the wire I use to jumper this one is this one over here. The brand doesn't matter. What's matter is the size, 0.009 mm, and that's a silver wire. See this silver wire? It's not a jump wire, it's a silver wire. It's different than the silver. So get something like the soldering iron has to be really thin one, so it can reach up to that small area. So we put the jumper wire over there and attach it just like that, just in one go. And we need to cut the wire a little bit longer because we need to roll it. Okay, I'm cutting it a bit longer and get two tweezers, one to hold it on the position, and the tweezer has to be sharp as well. Done. Done. Just over here, that's it. It is really simple with the practice. Now we are cleaning that flux which we put it on. Flux is very important to make a jumper. Without the flux you cannot make a proper joint. So that one is important. Now I need to dry it out. When it's all dry, I'm using two separate brushes, by the way, let me show you. I used one and another one. It's not the same when you see under the microscope. So one is wet, one is dry. So I use the wet one first and the dry one, so to get rid of all that junk which we left over there. Okay, the next part is to cover that jumper which we just made. Why we need to do that? Because when we're gonna put a new IC on the top, that jumper which we made, it can move with the heat. So we using ultra, don't go for the brand, like it can be anything. What you need is ultra violet UV curing soldering mask. It can be of any color. So just get a needle, very sharp needle, get a really small portion of it and cover this thing just like that. It doesn't has to be too big or small. And a little bit over here just to cover that area. That's it. See, very tiny piece of it just on the joint, and that's it. Now to cure this one we need to use a UV light. UV light has to be strong. Strong means sometimes if you're doing it like I used to do it like this. I was putting a UV light and later on after 1 minute or so I was saying when I poke that covered mask, the black marks, the glue was coming out. It wasn't curing, it wasn't drying. Later on I figured it out. It has to be dried out with extra light. I'm using this one at the moment. This one takes only like 5 seconds and that's it. But we're gonna leave it on the side. In the meantime, this one getting cured, we are going to reball the IC which we took earlier. Here we go, just like that. So look at on the angle, all the balls on the right shape. Bring back the motherboard and let's see the mask which we cure. Disk. Looks fine. And now just put the IC back together. The soldering paste is very important. You have to use it every time. You cannot just leave it. And the orientation of the IC you have to focus as well. How do we check it? You just go to this tool here. See the A1 starting from the A1, which means the pointer of the IC has to be on top left corner, which I did already over here. So the A1 ball is starting from here, it means the pointer is over there. We need to adjust the IC. Make it align as much as possible. So I need to hold it with the tweezer for a couple of seconds. Let's see. करती है. Hold the IC on the position and heat it up for a couple of seconds. Hold it with the tweezer. When IC is attached a little bit, then you heat it up properly. So it will settle up automatically. It will be better if you do it on a preheater. Why are we doing it on the preheater? Because it took a long time to take the IC off from there, so the pads underneath are rigid. They don't like the IC to go out and come back very often. अद्धा घंटा कह दे। अद्धा पौना घंटा कह दे तो 40 मिनट तो घंटा तक कह दे। Okay, recording 1 2 3. Hello? Hello? All good?